Opportunities for thousands of would-be IT workers in all of these different industries. Today it's pledging to fund training for 10,000 people from underserved communities. It's partnering with online training portal Coursera. The aim is to give students a head start in one of the fastest growing fields in the U.S. Natalie Van Cleave Conley is leading the project for Google, and she's here with me. Natalie, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about what the aim is for the program. What is it supposed to do? What's your goal?
So today we're launching the IT Support Professional Certificate Program on Coursera, a leading online education provider. And it's an online curriculum designed exclusively by Google to take beginner learners to entry-level job readiness in 8 to 12 months' time. And to enable that, the program includes lots of interactive labs and widgets so that learners can troubleshoot just like they were on the job.
And who's eligible? I mean, do you have to have some computer aptitude to be able to do this, or is this a skill that everyone can learn?
It's truly for beginners. IT is a very teachable field. So if you love IT and you're a tinkerer and a problem solver and you're passionate, it's for you. And in fact, to broaden access to the program, Google has worked with Coursera to subsidize the cost down to $49 a month for all learners. And then we're providing full financial support to 10,000 learners. As part of that commitment, Google.org is backing a number of nonprofit organizations for veterans and refugees and low-income youth. And we're also providing full financial support for learners who apply and qualify on the Coursera platform.
I think it's important because a lot of people, even if you think my passion is in a certain field, you may not think that you have to take all these computer skills because it's not for you, but as we just saw with the car industry, every single field seems to require some sort of capability to understand or interact with technologies. You said you're partnering with them to bring the price tag. This is targeted at what you call underserved communities. Why is it important to bring them in? Obviously the goal is diversity. What's the hope there?
Well, I used to run Google's internal IT support program, and we had real challenges finding qualified candidates. And we knew that qualified didn't have to mean having a 4-year college degree. And so in 2014, we partnered with a nonprofit organization for low-income young adults called Year Up. And we built out these trainings and pathways to IT support internships and full-time roles. And we had really great success, and it validated that IT is such a teachable field and a really strong entry point for non-traditional talent. And so, yes, this effort is focused on bridging that digital skills divide and providing opportunities for talent from anywhere, for anyone online.
I think that's amazing because I've seen people who I think don't know maybe that this is something that they can do. You know, so many of us are afraid of it or think, we've all heard about that, you know, how impossible it is to get a job at Google, and we just think it's not for us, but that decision comes so early that it's important to have access and to have an introduction to the idea that we can build these skills, because once you start to do it and you have some success, it sort of feeds onto itself. How important is the labor shortage part of the equation for all tech companies? We're getting to a point where the economy's doing well, we're close to full employment. How much of a shortage are you seeing based on how we're training our young people now?
There's quite a shortage, and it goes beyond tech. So there are over 150,000 roles sitting unfilled in IT support in the US right now. And jobs in the sector are growing by 10% from 2016 to 2026. And they're not just jobs, they're great paying jobs. So
yes.
The average starting salary is $52,000. And so Google isn't the only company challenged to find qualified candidates. And so we've brought together companies interested in considering graduates for this program for their IT support roles, like Bank of America, Walmart, Sprint, GE Digital, Infosys, and of course Google.
Which is important because not only are you getting the skills, but you're then getting the path into the companies, which is the other part when we're doing online resumes that sometimes is where the gap is. The fact that it's online, does that make it less intimidating to have to sit in a class? Are we more comfortable sort of making early mistakes or walking through things when we have the ability to do it online and move at our own pace? How does it work?
I think that's exactly right. The self-paced learning is a great appeal for folks. If you don't pass an assessment the first time, you can take it time and time again. But we also know that persistence is a challenge with an 8 to 12 month course. And so we actually pepper in these non-technical videos that showcase the personal stories of Googlers, from top executives to recruiters to IT support specialists, who talk about how they came into the field and the obstacles they've overcome. And so it's beyond just the technical curriculum. There's a lot of
little inspiration in there. I think that's really important because because I have 2 kids, and they think they're immediately supposed to know this. You know, there's a lot of pressure to seem like you're an expert at things when you see people who are operating a really high function, and they forget that it's really hard. You know, a lot of mistakes are made, and we're not all perfect at things when we start. And especially for this young generation, I think they really need to see that they all started someplace too. So it sounds like just what we need. And good luck with it. Come back and let us know how it's doing. I love the company's involvement as well, because I think that's really important for these young people. And we need them in there. We need the diversity. Natalie, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Maggie.
Now coming up, could driverless technology